Hello people in the house of the and today, I suppose, as I said, it was starting a campaign, I suppose, for mental health around smoking and drinking and so forth and so on, for making Ireland a healthier place. And I'm going to talk about my experience under that subject. It's mental health too. And I'm going to talk about my experience, and hopefully that can find some people some satisfaction that it doesn't last forever, depression or any mental health illness. And there's always a way out. There's always another way. There's always another option. There's always another option. There's always another. And so, firstly, as I mentioned in my life videos, my two life videos, I'm obviously somebody who's very anxious, obviously all the time, and I'm somebody that's prone to depression very, very, very often. And you see this often, frequently in my videos. You can often see me staring off into space and thinking about things, and that is okay now, but you know, it's it's not as I said to many people, it's not a crime. You might think it's a crime in your head, because your head. I tell you something for nothing, anybody that's watching. um, they say the powerful weapon in the world is a nuclear bomb. Well, the one thing, and I learned this the hard way in my life, is your mind. Your mind is the most dangerous weapon in the world. If you think of people like Hitler, Stalin, you think about what kind of twisted thoughts were through their mind. And you could just imagine, because your mind can change a person, the mind can change history. And it's always good to take care of your mind. And if your mind has a problem on it, or hasn't worry, the worry is the big thing, because worry usually leads to anxiety and depression. And something that I feel very, which I have often worry. And as I said to somebody, there's a states in the constitution. You can't be forced into doing something. You can't be kicked into, like, obviously you have to go to work and pay your taxes. That's obviously something that you have to do. But you can't be forced to go somewhere you don't want to go, well, within reason. And it's like when I was going through severe depression back in 2016. Like to be honest, I might as well tell you the truth. I'm surprised that I'm even here, and that's not a joke to anybody. I'm surprised that I'm even sitting here. I never thought back in 2016, March 2016, that I'd be sitting here right now talking about an issue and talking about myself that I went through, because back then I never showed my face. I never barely even talked as much as I used to now, and never stood up for what I believed. And holding things in for years on years and years, and letting them all pile up in your mind, it really takes a strain on you. And I found out when I was going through the dark days, where there was no light. I couldn't find the light. I couldn't see the will to live. And you find some glimmer of hope. You always find some glimmer of hope, because when them times came and them times were dark and the light was not there, I hoped that I could get through this. I hoped that it would not defeat me, and I prayed that it would not defeat me. And in the end, it was a hard struggle. It was difficult. It was long, and it was difficult to push my way from the edge. And it was hard to see yourself fall, because I watched myself collapse down from being young, fierce, young and innocent, to be at the present state, in a depressed state, on the verge of killing himself. And at the end of the day, what I found at the end of the day, I found out of 100%, I found 2% of hope. I had that 2% of hope in me that I would get through this, that I find some way of getting through this. And I was given a second chance. I was given a second chance of life. Because how quick the doctors reacted, how quick the Garda and the Collar acted, and how quick the HSE acted. Because I was sent to Cavan General, and then I was sent to a mental, well, you call it a mental institution, but a child mental health facility, which was in Cherry Orchard in Dublin. And people, what I found at the time is people said that you were dead. People said that good wins, you're dead, the miserable old get. And at the end of the day, the only thing that was brought to their life by saying it, what I find now, that they got the comeuppance because they got kicked in a lot more harder than I did. And it took a long time. Believe me, depression does take a long time to get rid of. It's not something that you can just click your fingers and get rid of. It's painstaking. It takes a lot out of a person. It really took my heart and soul out. It broke me. It broke me as a person. It broke me. I was 2 weeks in Cherry Orchard. Obviously my anxiety and my just wanting to be alone, away from society, away from everything. So I just stayed in my room for 2 weeks. And then the most remarkable thing happened, which I believe was a sign from God and from my guardian angels, which I don't know, many people think I'm crazy talking about that. But I do believe it was a sign. And I do believe it was a sign to stand up and not let a bad situation take light and take over your life. I believe in one of the dreams I had in Cherry Orchard, my great-great-grandmother, who was a member of Cunnaman, who fought in the Irish War of Independence, came to me and gave me hope and said to me, "You may be defeated, but the battle is never lost, because the battle will always continue in life. And the struggle will never end. It might be painful, it might be tough, it might take 10 years, it might take 30 years, but in the end, we will triumphant, no matter what situation happens to us. Because in the end, we have a destiny, and a destiny that is so pure and so good that life gives you good hope. And life will never let you down, because you are a person that will never give up. Will never give up on anything. Will always stand for what he believes in. For never or for anything. You always find a way out of it. And I believe that was a message from my guardian angel. And I'm not telling a lie saying that, because it really, really kicked me up. Because for that week after, I was in Cherry Orchard, and then I went back to Cavan for a while, and then back up and then down in the West Out. And I found that when I was in the most darkest place, maybe in Ireland, where there is less light and less hope in that building, the amount of darkness that was in that building, which I don't mean any offence to the people, but it kind of pushed me. it pushed me inside to say, I need to pick myself up. I need to do something to help these people. I need to make a laugh of myself, or maybe make an idiot of myself. But I need to brighten these people's day off, the other people who was with me. And I need to brighten myself up. And that's what I did. And in the typical Carver way, I went on about old stories from Cavan. And went on about all the people in Cavan are wise. Of course, some of them were Dubliners and so forth and so on. And it was great crack. And, I really brought the most positive outlook in that world, probably for a long, long time, as one of the nurses said. Because, I was defeated in them 2 weeks. But the battle was turned around. And the 50% chance was in my favour. And this only 2% chance was in the side of darkness. And them weeks, that after the 2 weeks I spent, for 5 weeks I spent there in Cherry Orchard, I made a commitment to myself that I would be the most that I would do whatever I could to help these young people during the dark times, and to help myself at the beginning too. And it really benefited them. It really, really did. Because I bought something that wasn't in me before, that never came around me before. And I turned myself around, and I'm here now. I'm here as a person. I'm still here. I'm here as a person. I might have a few scars here and there, but I'm here. And it took stress, it took time, it took effort. I'm really very emotional, my apologies. But in the end, I found the light, and I found that hope that I prayed and I dreamed of. And I found it. I'm very, very sorry. Pull yourself. And I found it within joy, within hope. And that's one word, and one thing money can't buy is hope. Because no matter how much money you could pay anybody to give you hope, to give you motivation to push yourself forward, the only way you could do that is if you have good support and good people around you, and you have the will to push forward. It may be a dark road, it may have no lights, it may be abandoned, but it can always change around. It could always be the best road in the country. It could have 1 billion lights. Because darkness may last for eternity. But eventually, the darkness will turn into light. And that's something that I found to this day, even to this day. I said, and I promised myself as soon as I got out of Cherry Orchard, that I would campaign tirelessly, even though I was still a tiny bit not in my own body, but I would campaign tirelessly for mental health awareness and for mental health support in Ireland, and I still live by that commitment to this day, and this is why I'm here now, even though I'm in a few bits of tears. I should probably get tissue. Yeah, tissue here. My apologies. But that's why I'm here today, because in the most darkest of circumstances, there's always something. There's always something that gives us that leg up. That gives us that extra push forward. Because everybody knows that it is very, very dark depression. And nobody should ever face it alone. If anybody needs help, it may be a long time waiting for CAMS, but talk to someone. Talk to somebody. Because talking to people will help. Believe me, I know it in my heart and my soul that talking to people will help. Talking to people, just talk, anything in the clouds at all. Just talk, and it really, really helps you. Music really helps you too. Because music keeps the spirits free, as the saying goes in Irish. And we should never, never underestimate ourselves. I couldn't believe, and I say this as a person who looked at himself when he got out and was like, I'm going to change something, and I'm going to do it now, and if I don't do it now, I do it soon. And I said to myself, never, never again will I let things bottle up in me and let it blow up in one day. Because I learned nobody is a one-man army. Everybody needs help. Everybody needs that leg up now and again. Everybody needs to talk to people. Because together we can push through anything. And I just want to thank everybody for watching. I will leave So Sad and the Samaritans helpline down below for the Republic of Ireland. And I just want to say to everybody, my apologies for my obsession, I suppose, because obsessed, or whatever, emotional stress, I could say. And it's really difficult. Wasn't difficult to think about, like when I was taken there. You put yourself back into them shoes, like literally that's what I do, and you feel the pain in your veins. You feel the pain and the suffering. But hopefully has inspired people out there to talk, and to talk. Because that's what life's all about. Having a talk and having a laugh. I want to thank everybody for watching, and yeah, if you need any help from me at all, please don't feel ashamed to contact me on Twitter or on Discord. And thank you for watching.